It's me, y'all, today. It's me, y'all. Welcome to our podcast, Below the Belt. Welcome to our podcast, Below the Belt, our international podcast, mind you. Well, I'm sorry if y'all expecting a Manza today. maybe tomorrow a Manza is going to be on with us. Just maybe a Manza is going to be with us, going to be with us tomorrow. But I'm here today, so y'all got to put up. Y'all got to put up. Good to have each and every one of you guys with us today. Good to have you guys with us, and we would rather have it no other way. We'd rather have it no other. Who is Sue? That's the question of the week, question of the month, question of the year. Who is Sue? We're so glad, so glad you guys can join us. That is the question. Who is Sue? Folks, my God, lots of people got a lot of things that they want to say. So much things to say right now, folks. So much things to say. And one of the things we're going to be discussing today, folks, as our main theme of this discussion, is the police protecting a pedophile in New Amsterdam. Among the other things we can discuss with Sue, the main thing we're going to be talking about is the police protecting a pedophile, folks, in New Amsterdam. That is the question of the day as well. But the bigger question is, who is Sue? The bigger question is, who is Sue? Folks, things tight in this country for a lot of people. It tight. It tight. Right? It tight. Folks are asking, who is this Sue? That's what folks want to know. Who is Sue, guys? Who is Sue? Y'all know? That's folks, as you join the program, as you come into the podcast, our live international podcast, Below the Belt, who expects, as you join the podcast, why don't you give us a share, so that other folks can benefit from the valid and credible information? Dennis Mitchell, have you done so? Pamela Saturine, have you done so? Sanchari, Pamela Sanchari, have you done so? Good to see you, Pamela. Hope you are well wherever you're there. Wendy Rowland and Margaret Nelson. Margaret, how is the weather where you are? Donna Liverpool, girl, how you doing, man? How you doing? Nibs. Nibs, how you doing? Doreen Clark here too? Doreen around the corner by the side street by the back house. Doreen here too, and I see Ron Sultan is here. Shelly the Ritter is here as well. You remember Sherry? Yeah, man, Sherry from up the street. Sherry, same Sherry. Petal Torn is here too. Gangaram Tony, good to see you. Good to see you, Tony. Rowena Williams is here as well. And we have Wendy Rowland is here too. Sasha Trim here too. Sasha Trim here too. And then you got Myrna Monroe. We have also Onessa Wardeen is with us and all the other folks. Folks, gather yourself together. Gather yourself together for us. Gather yourself together, folks. The morning paper's got a lot of things in it today. The morning paper's got a lot of things in it. I'm going to read some of it for you. A lot of people got their own interpretations. Who is Sue? And if you guys joined our morning program, FYI, we talked about some of it, right? We talked about some of it. The fellow who the allegations were made against about taking bribes from Chinese contractors, he came out and he said he spoke with Sue. He talked with Sue after the story. Folks, thanks to all of you who joined the morning program today. You know, the morning program is going to have its distinct feature. It's going to take shape. You know, it's like when you just make a glass of drink, a glass of swank, right? You know the real taste when things settle. The sugar and so on working. Right now we're stirring in the sugar and your little essence and whatever else you put in swank. You know, you always make your swank with little essence and so on. I like that. That's like a shade of essence, right? And then you can know if you want the swank dark, you can put in your nice deep brown sugar. If you want it light, you might go to lighter green or sometimes people use white sugar if you want it, you know, a certain way. We're now mixing in the ingredients in this swank. That is FYI. And it's going to settle. It's going to settle in time. But folks, we're so happy that so many of you join us for the morning program, guys. We are so privileged So many of you join us for the morning program. We'd have it no other way. So we were talking about Sue this morning. We've been talking about Sue this morning, folks. We were talking about, just before we get into the discussion about whether police protecting a pedophile in New Amsterdam, we spoke about Sue this morning. And as you know, this journalist out of the Vice Media Group, one Isobel Young, fantastic journalist, sat down with the Vice President Bart Jagdeo, President Bart Jagdeo, full stop, and a wide-ranging with wide-ranging topics in this discussion. But is the Sue from us? Is the old Sue? Is the old Sue for us that stood out in this interview? And they were allegations that were leveled against the vice president of corruption, in the sense of accepting bribes from Chinese contractors. These allegations were put to him, of which they were denied. Interestingly enough, we hear from Isabel. We hear from Isabel. We haven't heard from the young woman officially. We haven't seen the feature, whatever she's putting together, this article, this video feature, whatever it is. We haven't had the benefit of that as yet. But the vice president, they took first jump. They run out, and they would have published a piece of that interview there. And that is what the public, the country, and some international leaders as well have been looking at. Folks, them boys got a big conference coming up, an energy summit coming up on the 15th of February. It says damage control mode right now. Mia coming for the summit. Mia's coming. The president of, is it Kenya? I think it's Kenya. I might be off a country or two, a West African country or two. But a lot of quite a few head of states are coming. And so it's damage control right now. Them boys run out, play the little thing and sir. And now the vice president had to come out last night to do damage control on what he thought he was doing damage control on in the first place by releasing this tape ahead of Isobel Young's documentary or feature. You know how Vice News do their stuff. And they were trying to get ahead of that. Well, I think they fall behind. And something tells me that Vice News is going to release that piece just on the eve of that energy summit. Something tells me Vice News is going to release that just around then. But there's a lot of people want to know who is Sue, folks. And we have been going through some of that on our programs. Lots of people want to know who is Sue. And we examined that on the morning program. But just as we came off of the morning program, we noted that the Chinese embassy here in Georgetown, put out a statement. Yep, the Chinese embassy in Guyana put out a statement on this whole issue. Interesting. Folks, the plot thickens. It deepens. It's a very short statement, so I can read it verbatim. It says here, statement from the spokesperson of the Chinese embassy on fabrication about China and a Vice News interviewer. Fabrication about China by a Vice News interviewer. She gone big. Isabel, you gone big, y'all. You've reached it up. Recently, when a journalist from Vice News interviewed the Honorable Vice President Bart Jagdeo, she was found to come to Guyana with predetermined agenda and try to smear and attack China-Guyana cooperation as well as Chinese companies. This is according to the statement. The Chinese embassy is strongly dissatisfied with and firmly opposed to such violation of professional ethics. Wow. They go on to say the Chinese side highly appreciates that the government of Guyana upholds the one China principle and keeps developing cordial relations with China. China-Guyana friendly cooperation featuring equality, mutual benefit, innovation, openness, and benefits for the people is in accordance with the interests of the two countries, the two peoples, not against any third party, nor should it be influenced by a third party. Pim, sue your name calling, but sue your name calling. You hear that? Is in accordance with the interests of the two countries and two peoples, not against any third party, nor should be influenced by a third party. The brief statement closes in this way: Chinese companies operating in Guyana are following the local laws, international practices, and market rules, participating with big projects through open and fair competition, which is beyond reproach. Which is beyond reproach. Folks, there you have it. We ain't adding with little salt, we ain't adding no essence in. That is the thing, word for word. That's the Chinese embassy in Guyana putting out that statement just this morning. I am interested to see this statement that may emanate from the U.S. Embassy. Respect and manners, Sarah Lynch. Respect and manners. And this, according to the Chinese Embassy, is from their spokesperson. They didn't offer a name. They just said statement from the spokesperson of the Chinese Embassy on fabrication about China by a Vice News interview. Interesting times we living in. And so, folks, the plot thickens as to exactly who should be. The plot thickens on exactly who should be. And we've been getting all manner of persons suggesting and making their own allegations as to who Sue might be. We've been getting that, folks, our own, people getting their own interpretations and so forth, adding their own, whatever they know, or it is alleged that they know, to what we know about Sue. Adding their own bit, as people will do, adding their own bit about Sue, folks. That is what we've been hearing. Right? That is what we've been hearing. Good to see each and every one of you. Good to see you guys joining the live stream. Good to see each and every one. Glensis Mingo Board, Kurt Heidekin, Glensis, and I see Shondell Moses is here too. Carl Fordyce Debaut and Pansy Fields. Alistair Gill. Here, sir. Alistair Gill here too. Folks, so folks have been telling us, good to see each and every one of you, their own interpretation. Somebody sent us, said they got a little information. They said they got a little information too. All this is alleged. Shonell Smith Daniels, devout people. Shonell Smith Daniels is a devotee. Of course, one of our favorites. Of course, Shonell Smith is one of our favorites. Shonell is a devotee. Is she a train under? Is Shonell Smith a train under people? So this is what somebody tell us, a little more insight. And now all these are allegations, folks. All these are allegations. Take a listen to this.
I got to change up my voice. Them boys say that new Triton restaurant in Queens is SO on it. To new Triton restaurant in Queens Liberty, Triton SO on new Triton restaurant.
Everybody got their own spin, folks. Everybody got their own little allegation they're making. So these are some of the allegations: who own property where, who own Chinese restaurant in Queens, all manner of things. Folks, while things working out for some people, Gavin Beresford, things tight. Addison, Onessa Ward Dean, Joylin Cook, Stephen Jarvis, Roxanne Odessa, Jacobs, like everybody got a name Odessa in this place, man. Josh Marshall and everybody else. Josh Marshall, you name calling too. Josh Marshall, I hear your name calling. I call your name. Folks, things tight here. Not for Sue. Not for Sue. Not for Sue and the scamps in the PPP. But for the rest of us, things tight. We quoted for you guys on the other program based on what we've pulled from public documents, public records. Sue into gas, sue into real estate, sue into a lot of things. Money there. And, the vice president has said Sue is a tenant. Sue is his tenant. That's what he said. Sue's the tenant. But picking up the morning papers, who picked up on this press conference that was put together yesterday, last evening, to do damage control on this issue, because you all know the International Energy Summit is the 15th of February. So you got to sweep all the dirtiness, the nastiness, the filth, and the degradation under the carpet before me and them boys come. We got to do it hastily, right? We got to do it quickly. We got to do it bigly. Here is what the morning paper said. Again, raising more questions than answers. One of the morning papers following up on this interview and quoting the Honorable Vice President. Last evening, the Honorable Vice President repeated the arguments while informing that he had spoken to his tenant, Sue, and Sue denied the claims, these allegations that Isabel Young from Vice News purported. Sue denied the claims. According to the Vice President, who is the landlord for Sue, right? According to the papers before us, however, he said that he would not put his head on a block for his tenant, as he was already been victim to someone he knew, using his name for personal gains. Well, this is interesting now. He goes on to say, this is the Vice President. The quote is attributed to him. I have experiences too, where one person, a female, she was basically telling people that she could gain access and collecting favors for them. Interesting. Who's this female? Since you got company now, collecting favors from them. I found that out and I stopped seeing anyone. I don't know what people tell investors, but I know for sure it is not for no bribe, the Vice President said. I am not putting my head on a block for no Sue Zhirong. I ain't putting my head on no block for Sue. What he says to somebody, if he is lobbying them or if it is a lie, he claims it's a lie. He never said anything of that sort. But I am not putting my head on a block, because if he says that to someone, that is his business. But if I discover he is doing that and he asks me to see anybody, I would never see them again. So folks, this suggests to us it is business as usual. Right? I can forgive you this time. He said he didn't tell nobody that I take bribe, and these allegations are unfounded according to the Vice President. But he says, if I find this true, I can stop seeing anybody that Sue sends my way. I can stop seeing anybody Sue sends my way. Folks, this thing ain't easy. This story ain't easy. A couple heads of states heading this way on the 15th. Today, I believe, is the 9th day. Or is it the 8th? I might be running ahead of myself. Let me confirm. It's the 9th, yes? So in just 6 days, there's an international energy conference being held here. Going through town, you're seeing all the $1 million billboards going up. I think Santoki from next door come in. I don't know if Brazil's president is going to come. But they got me on the billboard. Santoki, of course. Irfan looming large. And they get Ado. Ado is which countries? Kenya? Ghana. Ado is coming too to this thing. So everything you see from now until that time on Sue, this quick conversation with Sue, and Sue saying no. Why? I want to see Sue. Why Sue can't face the media for himself? Why Sue can't face the media for himself? That's what I want to know. right? Sue is very, very fused and welded to business in this country. Why Sue can't claim he own them? His landlord got to talking for you now. The landlord got to talking for Sue, right? And I think it was in that very, very press conference, the very vice president admitted to having bank accounts. I heard things about an apartment overseas that was sold, and that's how he got his footing into business and all that. So I didn't know the vice president had apartments overseas and all of that. So we got lots of things here, folks. Lots of things. Lots of things. Lots of things here, folks. Mouth open, story jump out. Them folks are like the rest of us. You got worrying about whether you're buying 3 pound plantain or 1 pound because the price are high and snapper and gale barker and everything thing like that sky high. You know, catfish is the only thing that people ain't even taking if it's free. Catfish is the only thing people say they ain't taking on even if it's free. So, folks, on this story here, more in the barter than on the pistol. You know the Guyanese proverb? More on the matter than on the pistol. I wonder why Sue can't talk for himself. Paulette Hicks. Jackie Baird, I wonder what happened to Sue. From the photographs circulated on social media, Sue seemed to be a man who, you know, associates with the very influential. And I haven't seen any way that Sue is a mute. So we would love to hear from Sue himself. But the man who the allegations were made against, the landlord said he asked his tenant, "What are you talking here?" The tenant says, "Oh, it's fabrication. It's lies." Vice News telling on him. And as I quoted from the Daily News, he said he ain't putting his head in a block for tenant. But if he find out that the tenant wrong and had told Vice News what Vice News alleges in the interview, then he will stop seeing people that the tenant sends his way. What a tenant and landlord relationship. What a tenant and landlord relationship. So it's interesting, because I think a question any decent reporter or journalist of Isabel Young's quality would ask is, how many people have you sent his way, Sue? How many persons? What was it? Is it of just Chinese persons you sent his way, or Americans? Would approach you, Sue, or you got American friends who you would send his way for varying advice on any number of issues. How much is your rental of this premises and so forth, right? And you know what? I wonder. Leader of the PNCR said yesterday that the vice president should really and truly practice transparency and accountability and good governance and all of those things they talk about. Make known the contents of all of these bank accounts. Make known the contents of all of these bank accounts. Right? Well, why would you want several bank accounts overseas, not only locally? Folks, the 2 guilders I shame to put it on any bank. Right? I shame to put it on any bank. When them banks see them 2,000, 3,000 I got saving, I think they put a 500 for me. I think it's a shame for me to lie so poor. They put a 500 for me. So me got accounts. You understand? The money you got to pay, the little 500 or 3,000 by now to open an account, I can put them on one account. Right? When them banks see them little 10,000 and 15,000 I got, they must put a 1,500 and say, we can give you a little interest above above market. Let me sorry for you, man. We didn't know it's a hunt about much more to get apartments overseas and bank accounts. Overseas is interesting. And apartments that you sell and you convert the money in your little business. Very interesting. The vice president, if they really believe in transparency and so on, should make those bank accounts, the contents known, publish the statements, man. Y'all like transparency and y'all is good governance and so on. Publish it. It would be interesting if also if the vice president take a lie detector test. What about that, folks? Dispel things beyond the shadow of any doubt. Would the vice president be willing to take a lie detector test? And questions are posed to him about sue and bribes and all these allegations put to him on the lie detector test. I think in the name of transparency, in the name of good governance and all of that, right? As I see somewhere reading some other bit and piece of this about being beyond reproach, and let's prove once and for all the champion of the earth is beyond reproach. The technologies have been invented. Why we can't go to a lie detector test? Huh? Utility Grant and Chandel Moses. What do you guys think? Paulette, Hawk Kippins, and is Agati Castillo Edwards? The name's changing steady. Audrey Ward, Jackie Cameron. What do you think? We should go to a lie detector test? Beyond reproach. That's why I think we should go. Lift the vice president of this country beyond reproach. Right? We were when Mio and Santoki they're meeting on the sidelines of this conference, then by whispering, you see the news last week in this place here. It's the 15th to this conference, Today's the 9th. You can imagine the sidelines of the conference. Huh? But I tell y'all, I get this sneaky suspicion that Vice News on the eve of this conference will release Isabel article, she mini documentary, she video feature, whatever it is. I got this sneaky suspicion on the eve of this international conference. And when them world leaders come here, Santoki and me and them, and they bust the paper, so they can say, my God, you can see few photo opportunities with the landlord. Few photo opportunities with the landlord. But I would love to hear from the tenant. I would love to hear, publish all the landlord and tenant agreement. Publish the landlord and tenant agreement. I can see this. Nothing to laugh about. The landlord and the tenant. That's not like a film. Pashwe. The landlord and the tenant. Claudette Harry. What about the lie detector test? I think we should move in that direction, folks. But outside of this, things tight for the rest of us. Things tight for the rest of us who got bank accounts overseas. For the rest of us who got apartment buildings we renting overseas, and if you got tenants when the month come to pay you, right? That's the level I want to move up to in this life, folks. Life is about elevation. I want to get tenants one day too. You think I want to be a tenant all the day of my life? I want bank accounts in foreign countries too. We got to aspire, folks. Pace and power in 2022. The landlord and the tenant. Folks, but things tight for the rest of us, folks. Things tight. I'm telling you, I ain't lying. Things tight, right? And people balling out. You think everybody could go and live in big, fancy, plush estate and compound in Praloville 2 and 3 and all that? Things tight. That's what I'm telling you. For some people, things tight, guys. It tight. Right? If you want how tight, folks, take a listen. How tight things tight. Take a listen. We can tell how tight things tight.
Why I really appreciative. Anyway, let me tell you. Right now, if I get it well, I watch him by time now in May. And if this place can pick up, I'm going to sell out my stuff. And I'm going to come to Trinidad and start all over again. May I lie to your friend. This place is so worse than when Granger went in. It's better they left Granger. I ain't lying to you. It's one set of people getting this money, buddy. This money circulating amongst the people that already have money. The small man and the middle man ain't getting no money. And who you feel to spend on a daily basis every minute is the small man. Then rich people ain't coming at you salon. They going at them Spanish people salon. Then rich people ain't coming at you restaurant, restaurant they're going at Cosmos. So what gonna to the small one was selling food on the car now and get a little shop for selling a box of food for 800 and 500. It's them who getting the money and they ain't coming by we and buy and shop and do the hair. This place getting from bad to worse. Our bottle aisle from 340 could gone to 860 in 3 months, not even 3 months. Yeah, in 3 months. From December to now. Like I just fed up, I fed up, I fed up, I fed up. The money we making is to pay bills and buy food, and I could barely buy food. Nothing is going on in this country. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I don't know people whoever get the money is them at the top. But it ain't trickling down to the small man. Honestly, nothing ain't going on in this place. Nothing. The amount of salons are already closed down. The amount of big businesses are already closed down. Imagine Ranny's. If I went to Ranny's last week, if you see Ranny's was Ranny's, we used to supply the arcade and all them stores. You could run through Ranny's. Or you used to get in 3 and 4 container a month. Nothing ain't going on in this town. Nothing. No, everybody crying out. Every single bar. Everybody asks, nothing ain't going on. This place hard. This place. Imagine this is Valentine week. You know how much money I would have done make already? Not a soul and even show up and make appointments. Nothing, 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 nothing. I don't know, but I waited up to April, May, and if nothing ain't pick up by then, I rolling out to this place. It's either Trinidad or Antigua. I can't make it no more. To make sense, I work for pay bills.
There you have it, folks. There you have it. Nothing happening. That's from the people. That's from the peoples themselves. Is nothing happening by mere April. Nothing happening. Rolling out. I only vex she says she ain't going Barbados because like me, you're right, guy. These ain't coming to Barbados no more. She says she beating out Trinidad or Antigua. El Trinidado or El Antigo. Nothing happening. Listen for yourself. Listen from your Mati. Learn for yourself. That's what she said. Nothing happening. I rolling out. I rolling out. Listen again. Listen again. If you miss it, I might have brought in too quick for some people. Take a listen again, folks. Nothing happening here. I rolling out. Take a listen.
Why, boy, I really appreciative. Anyway, let me tell you. Right now, if I get it well, I watch him by time now on May. And if this place can pick up, I'm going to sell out my stuff and I'm going to come to Trinidad and start all over again. May I lie to your friend. This place is so worse than when Granger went in. It's better they left Granger. I ain't lying to you. It's one set of people getting this money, buddy. This money circulating amongst the people that already have money. The small man and the middle man ain't getting no money. And who you spend on a daily basis every minute is the small man. Then rich people ain't coming at you salon. They going at them Spanish people salon. Then rich people ain't coming at you restaurant, restaurant, they're going at Cosmos. So what gonna to the small one was selling food on the car now and get a little shop for selling a box of food for 800 and 500. It's them who getting the money and they ain't coming by we and buy and shop and do the hair. This place getting from bad to worse. Our bottle aisle from 340 could gone to 860 in 3 months, not even 3 months. Yeah, in 3 months. From December to now. Like I just fed up, I fed up, I fed up, I fed up. The money we making is to pay bills and buy food, and I could barely buy food. Nothing is going on in this country. Nothing, nothing, nothing. I don't know people whoever get the money is them at the top. But it ain't tripling down to the small man. Honestly, nothing ain't going on in this place. Nothing. The amount of salons are already closed down. The amount of big businesses are already closed down. Imagine Ranny's. If I went to Ranny's last week, if you see Ranny's was Ranny's, we used to supply the arcade and all them stores. You could run through Ranny's. Or you used to get in 3 and 4 container a month. Nothing ain't going on in this town. Nothing. No, everybody crying out. Every single bar. Everybody asks, nothing ain't going on. This place hard. This place. Imagine this is Valentine week. You know how much money I would have done make already? Not a soul and even show up and make appointments. Nothing, 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 nothing. I don't know, but I waited up to April, May, and if nothing ain't pick up by then, I rolling out to this place. It's either Trinidad or Antigua. I can't make it no more. It makes sense I work for pay bills.
Yep, folks. There you have it. There you have it. And while we on that, folks, while we on that, we got some sick people in this society, you know. While we in all the strugglation, you got some sick people in this society. Some sick people. You understand me? Some sick people. And we're going to be talking with somebody who knows of this situation here in New Amsterdam, where it appears the police may be coming up. The allegation is the police protecting a pedophile. Police protecting a pedophile. You understand me? That is the allegation. And so we want to get to the bottom of what is happening here. Several allegations are being leveled against the police in New Amsterdam. And we got at least one person who seemed to got some inside information of what is happening with this situation. Folks, it's not easy. So we've been following a post on social media by one Dexter McLennan, in which he says this: New Amsterdam Police Station, what is the matter with y'all? Right? What is the matter that y'all didn't arrest? New Amsterdam Police Station, what is the matter that y'all didn't arrest a man in his late 40s that sexually abused a 10-year-old girl? Right? It's day number 3, and mother running up and down, and the man cannot be brought in for questioning. That is Dexter McLennan, and I quoted there from a Facebook post. That is Dexter McLennan. And that's the charge he's leveling against the New Amsterdam police station. The allegation he's made that a 10-year-old was sexually abused by a man in his late 40s, and the mother has been running up and down from the station. Up and down from the station, and nothing has been happening. I want to welcome my guest for today, who is going to be talking to us a little bit about this issue. I'm going to bring him in via phone, and he's joining us from the diaspora. He's joining us from the diaspora. A very good afternoon, sir. Welcome to our podcast, Below the Belt.
How are you?
I am great. Glad to have you on the broadcast. And I wish we had you under better circumstances. But, you know, the outrage on social media has been expressed over this young lady who was allegedly molested, as you said, as it said out there, sexually by a man in his late 40s. And there seems to be no redress. There seems to be absolutely no redress. So talk to us a little bit about that from whatever you would have know and understand.
Okay, so this matter was reported on Friday last, Saturday morning, as a matter of fact, and the police, well, the parent went in to the station, took the child. They were sent to get a medical done. That was completed. Then they sent them all the way to the quarantine. I don't know for what, and they were running up and down. The child is exhausted, and she was the mother, the parent of the child, was given the royal runaround, and the officers dealing with the matter, they're very rude because I called there several times myself, trying to ask why is it that this matter, which is a very serious issue, has been reported and nothing is being done. Why isn't this man questioned? Why isn't he being brought in for questioning to the police station? Oh, the matter's on the investigation. I made it my duty. I called the Child Protection Agency. The mother called them. Several prominent persons I called, they made calls. Only this morning, Sherrod, they went to get this man
Mm-hmm.
picked up. By that time, now I don't know if the man heard what was going on, but apparently somebody there knows him. Somebody there at that police station probably knows him because efforts were made by some officers to go get this man, and then there was a female officers that said, "No, let us wait." After all of these evidence was gathered and everything, and then the pussyfooting and the dragging of feet and all that, Now, I heard this morning from the parent that he was picked up this morning only, and he's at there currently at the station. Now, will justice be served? That is the big question.
You
Will justice? Mhm.
No, I was only going to ask, what in your estimation um, would you say is responsible for them, as you said, dragging their feet and the reluctance of them initially to arrest the alleged perpetrator?
In my opinion, Sherrod, it is just the way the Guyana police force operate. I am looking at a man who was allegedly with a spliff and or not wearing a helmet. The
Hmm.
police, the big one, had the time. They had the time of day to go and bacchanal on the street with that particular person who's obviously harmless. And a report being made leveled against someone who was sexually assaulted a child. He didn't get a visit until day 4 to be brought in for questioning. So you see how the police force operate in Guyana. They operate so strange. It's like, what is important? What is not important? They're not looking for the actual criminals, but they're harassing ordinary people who are basically harmless, as what we saw in that video recently with the officer. I don't know if he's an inspector or
Hmm.
what is he, but
Hmm.
he was in an entanglement with a man who allegedly didn't have on an helmet.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
You
Interesting.
know?
Interesting. And from what you know, in this situation here, we talked about perhaps there's some linkage to the alleged perpetrator and somebody at this police station. And
Obviously, because
this other question, I advise you, you don't have to answer it, but based on what you know, is the alleged perpetrator, because usually the studies will tell us, and research will tell us that it's often somebody known to the alleged victim. Is it that the case here?
yes, absolutely 100%.
Wow, wow,
100%.
wow. And so you were updating us that the person was picked up eventually by the
This
police there.
morning
Uh-huh.
at 6:30, and we will have more in the ring about this matter because I am coming here again to update as I get it. And I want to hear how much bail they're going to give him. And I want to hear all of that because all the evidence that I am privy to, you understand? He did it.
Wow. Well, I hope you know as yeah.
Absolutely.
I hope that we're talking the goodly Minister of Social Services taking a listen, because I know the Child Protection Agency falls under the Honorable Vindhya Prasad's portfolio, and also the police falls under the portfolio supervision of the goodly, the Honorable Minister Ropes and Mills. I hope they're listening, and justice must be served. You know, too often in this country, when women go to the station, you hear, oh, that's a family problem. We ain't getting in. It's a family problem. Just the other day, we spoke to the young woman of the Jesus Hernandez sister, the 13-year-old that was killed while being bullied on his way home. Go to the station, you hear, they ain't getting in. That's a private matter. Too often we hear this, especially where abuse in all its forms perpetuated against females is concerned. You hear this. We ain't getting involved. It's private matters, all kind of nonsense. So we watching. Talk to us, sir.
And also,
Hmm.
the parent is reporting, the parent is reportedly works for a particular government agency, and it's been over 2 years she has been begging them for a 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. shift, and they always deny her and giving her overnight shift,
Hmm. Hmm.
PM shift,
Hmm.
where she comes home late. She wants time to be home with her girl children, and they're denying her that. So I hope that they're proud of themselves now for
Wow.
this whole issue because
Wow.
there is more that I will bring to the show, but just not yet.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
look and let me observe as to what's going on because this matter is indictable.
And you know what? We understand so acutely that things tight here. and people
Very.
want to go out and work hard, provide for their family and all of that. And this situation perhaps is replicated so many times in our country. A mother gone out there fending for her children, ensuring that they have what they need. She has a job and she has to go out there in this manner. And you go to your boss and you say, "Hey, boss, I want to work, but I want to protect my kids at the same time. You're in this touchy spot." And some people don't care. They just don't care, my brother. That's where we are.
Absolutely, they don't. And and when these matters, when these kind of issues happen, then everyone pulls themselves out. Oh, it's not me, it's she, it's he. That's how it happens. And it's a disgrace, a total disgrace as to how there a lot of single parents has to go out there fend for their kids, but then there is no consideration by their job, especially a government agency. And I said that because I want to refrain from mentioning what government
Hmm.
agency it is
Hmm.
in light of identity
Yeah, yeah, very well,
exposure and all of that.
very well.
Anyways, I hope that they're proud of themselves now, and this matter will not go to rest. It will be something that is going to be discussed every single day until justice is served.
And having said that, I want to circle back to something you said earlier because it is often the case in situations like this. You said there was a female at the police station that was giving you a hard time with such a sensitive matter, right? With such a sense, I think the
Right.
I think the legislation that involves sexual abuse and all of that, it says as soon as you know a child is in harm's way, you have a duty to report that and action must be taken. And here is a female. The allegation is you approach at the police station, she giving you more of a hard time to get justice, to let the system work for you
Exactly.
than ordinarily. Talk to us about
And
that.
trying. Hmm. Yes, and also reports are that the female officer is also trying to put things in the report that the mother did not mention. So the mother had to argue with her, like, you're going to fix that. I did not say that.
Hmm.
And other officers were there and they said, no, she never said that. She said this. So it's like they want to put in people's report that, and I advised the mother. I said the best course of action is to have your own report written, take a photo of it, because you have a choice to write your own report. You can.
Yep,
You
yep,
can
yep.
write your own report because it seems to me like these people just want to get you from in front of their desk. So they want to just like, oh, like whatever, until it happens to them directly. And that's what's going on. That is the kind of people we have giving taxpayers money to, and that is how they operate, especially when it comes to a child.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head and the head on the nail because locally, and it's something we got to change. It's something we have to change. Locally, when you go into for a service as a miniature police station, you feel as though like you shop the wrong time. You go morning, noon, or night is one attitude, like you're disturbing the peace. You got to tiptoe around how they feel and how they operate. And mind you, you got some good police people in the force. Some good policemen and women in the force. But there's a couple of them that spoil the show for everybody. There's a couple of them.
A
You
whole
go to
lot of
them,
them,
you
not
feel as
couple.
though you're in the way, you're on the time, you're just bothering them.
Yes, and that is what you're paying them for. That's their duty. They have a duty to serve and protect and listen and act. That's what they're there for. It's called law enforcement.
Yep. And I think the motto is to serve and protect. I think
Yes,
the motto universally is to serve and protect, not to harass people, not to let people feel as though you're bothering them when you shop with a genuine complaint. You need the law's protection and all of that. We got to elevate ourselves, folks, in 2022. We got to elevate
right.
ourselves.
It's definitely things tight. All of this is a part of things tight. All
True,
of this,
true, true, true. And this is the
all
reaction we
around.
get. What are you guys looking for as the outcome for all of this? These
For the
interventions.
outcomes,
Yeah.
we are waiting to see when and if charges will be laid. We are waiting for updates. By the end of the day, we should be able to have updates. hopefully, and I emphasize on the hopefully because if they took 4 days to bring him in for questioning or to arrest him, then I don't know how much days or months or years it's going to take for a charge to be laid if they do so. And I want to see how this plays out today. And I'm going to find Vindia's number somehow because I need to call her.
Mm-hmm.
I need to
Mm-hmm.
call her too
Mm-hmm.
because as she's in charge of that particular ministry that deals with such, then I think we're allowed to have a conversation with her as well.
Very well.
Because
Very
again,
well.
again taxpayer money pays her, so she's not above anything or anyone.
Correct, correct, correct is right. And you know, I love your own attitude because oftentimes we see on this program and our other programs that we gotta fight for our family. Too many people give up easily, right? Our kids are there depending on us, whether it's a niece, it's a nephew, whoever. And we just can't let harm come to them, and we just turn a blind eye. We just can't see them going wrong, and we turn a blind eye. We gotta fight for our family. So I'm really encouraged by hearing you say, you know, I got to get the number for the minister. I'm following this up. We want justice. This is the outcome that we want. We want some feedback as quickly as possible. You know, we got to fight for our family, folks. We got to fight, irrespective who it concerns, right? We got to fight. The police got to work. And again, I dare say, we got some decent policemen and women in the Ghana police force, but I got a couple of them that spoil the thing for everybody. That spoil the thing for everybody, sir.
Exactly.
Your final thoughts. I hope I haven't missed anything, but if I haven't missed something you want to get out there, go right ahead.
But well, my final thought is I hope justice prevails and prevails very swiftly. I hope this is not a case where somebody gets $10,000 bail because, of course, this is an indictable matter. Sorry. So I trust and hope that the law works. I hope it does because sometimes you don't expect much from the Guyana police force. And I say that with no regret. You don't expect much from them because sometimes they arrest people, they charge them, but how things are tight, bribery finds them because if the vice president could be bribed, I don't know that a normal police wouldn't take bribe. So bribe is the order of the day, according to Sue,
Mm-hmm. Yep,
right?
yep, 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 yep,
So
yep. Well,
what I'm saying
we
is that I
understand through the
hope
allegations being made
justice.
against the vice president. Yep.
Yes. So I do hope that justice is being served, and I will keep in the ring and below the belt updated on
Justice.
anything further. And I do thank you for bringing this to light so that you know, there's a lot of people who, are not brave enough to highlight some things,
True.
especially of this
Yep.
nature.
Yep.
I hope these people find hope by listening to us and the way we highlighting these kind of issues. And I hope someone else gets help and justice moves speedily, not just for this particular matter, but for others.
Very well. Very well. I want to thank you for the courage for bringing this story to the public's attention. Thank you, my brother. Thanks for coming through.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a great day.
You as well.
Bye.
Folks, that's it. That's it. You see what happening out here? Good people in the Ghanaian police force get tainted by the bad ones. You know, the people want the system to work, and this 10-year-old needs justice, folks. They need justice. Roxanne Estrado, Jordan, Jasmine Carmichael, justice. Commissioner Cole, they want justice. That's all. It's the little things, you know. Right? People don't want 500,000 US kickback and all that. Justice. A wrong is done, you must get justice. That is what Jesus Hernandez's sister was asking for. I want justice from a brother. Andrew Cuthbert, the fellow want justice for this 10-year-old. And she deserves justice. You have your innocence taken from you in this most brutal manner, being sexually abused. That's the allegation being leveled. And then the police dragging the foot. Dragging the foot because it's somebody friend or something like that. Justice is blind because it doesn't matter who goes against the law. All must be equal before the law. Not so Joylyn Cook and Cherry Baskin Greenwich, Pamela Sanchari, not so. Roxana Jessup Jacobs and Savannah Page and Glensis Mingleborn. Justice. That's what he said he wants for his family. And we hope that this young lady gets that at 10 years old. You don't start living yet. Jesus, because some sick people in the society. You heard the allegations being made, the police dragging the foot in New Amsterdam. Folks, we have to rise to the challenge, and I hope the professional people that constitute the Guyana Police Force rise to the challenge and let justice be done for this 10-year-old. Tasha Silat, I see you there. I want to thank all of you for joining the program. Guys, you know we can't do these programs without your kind help, your kind contribution to helping us move forward, meeting our monthly expenses, building out our programs. We can't do it without you. We are so very happy that all of you guys are here with us, and we have several platforms available, guys, that you can tap into and be able to contribute to our programs. You know, we are an affiliate of the In the Ring program, and we use all of their platforms at uh, at Cash App. Our Cash App handle is the $ in the ring 592. Our Cash App handle, the Cash App handle is rather in the ring 592. Am I calling it right? Is the $ in the ring 592? And at PayPal and at Zelle, our email address is the same at both PayPal and Zelle. It's in the ring 592 at gmail.com. In the ring 592 at gmail.com. We're available via MMG, that's the local Guyanese Cash App. We host our program from the national capital city of Georgetown in Guyana, the oil producing republic. And so we tap into their platform as well. Our number at MMG 6276963. And we're also available via MoneyGram, and we're also available via Western Union as well, folks. And we're so privileged to all of you who partner with us on a monthly basis, who partner with us all the time. We're thankful, and there's so many of you who can come on board and partner with us, folks. We hope you see through these programs that we've been good stewards. We have been good stewards of your funds. We said to you we'll do X, Y, and Z, and we have done nothing short of that. Beyond reproach, nothing short of that. Good to have each and every one of you on the podcast. And we really want to give a shout out to Jacqueline Pastano. Jacqueline, how are you doing, Jacqueline? Respect and manners, folks. You know, some people don't only talk the talk, you know. There's walk the walks, and people like Jacqueline Pastano carry us so that others could just come eat and go. They carry us, and we're eternally grateful. So, Jacqueline Pastano, take a bow today, Jacqueline. Respect and manners. We're grateful for all of your efforts, and folks like you, folks like Selena Fraser, and all the other folks who are so helpful to us in ways we cannot even begin to mention. In ways that we cannot even begin to mention. People look out for us in all manner of ways and forms. People look out for us. Right? People look out for us. You know, people look out for, and we're grateful. We are grateful. We are grateful. We are thankful for all of those of you who look out for us, all of you who send us bits of information that you think we ought to know and that the public should be sensitized over. We're thankful for all that. All that's partnering with us. No, we understand things tight. Not everybody got the money. Not everybody got a $5 or $1,000 to help us out. But some of you go out of your way to make sure that we are kept informed. And so by virtue of that, the nation, the public, you who are here in the cooperative oil producing republic, those of you in the diaspora, you kept informed of what's happening. And we're grateful. We are grateful to the network of people that we have. And we're so honored that you guys joined us today for the podcast. We would have it no other way. Thanks for joining us, Shondell Moses and Glensis Bingo Byrne, Donna Barry. Folks, we still on the Sioux Trail, you know. We still on Sioux Trail. We still in Sioux Trail. Donna Barry and Shondell Moses. We still in Sioux Trail. Glensis Bingo Byrne. Glensis is one of those people, you know, who's been tremendously resourceful to us. Glensis, we say respect and manners. Respect and manners. Elizabeth Narain is one of them people too. Respect and manners, Elizabeth. Respect and manners. Stacy Mathis. Respect and manners to each and every one. Beatrice Selby. Beatrice too. Folks help us in immeasurable ways. Beatrice, respect and manners to you too, Beatrice. Shellon Kingston, good to see you. And Deborah Clark. Deborah's one of them people too. Right? We're thankful for all of you guys who support us in varying ways and forms and fashion. Have a fantastic, fantastic rest of the day, guys. That's our program. Stay safe. See you in the ring at 8 p.m. Guyana time. That is. It's. I think it's a little earlier, or is it a little in the US? See you at 8 p.m. Y'all know when we on. In the ring at 8, folks. Thanks for joining our international podcast. Below the belt. Who vex vex? Who vex vex? Stay safe, guys.